Yo, if you're hearing this, you know who it is. Your favorite N-word. Welcome back to the Truststone era. This time I'll be talking about Dreamland excerpt from the 13th of August, 2023, titled How to Not Be a Part of the Land of the Dead. Characters: Terrance Prescott, drama from the Crimson Collective, and most of the cast of Euphoria. Yeah, you heard me right. I don't know where this dream came from. You should know that by now. But this one was so good, I had to record it. So, be with me. This dream took place as if I and Drummer were transfer students to East Highland High School. As if the show continued from that awful season finale, but it happened somewhere else. Because of who I am, I saved Fezco so he could live another day by the means of preventing the police raid. As I turn back time, I discover a way to infiltrate the school before a giant field trip, one that would take them to the land of the dead, better known as Wraith City, where the senior students get to spend a week in this luxuriously haunted city. Itinerary involves learning squat before they graduate. I and Drummer have been students for the final semester of their year. Honor students who happen to come in as the number 3 and number 13th ranked students of their class. Sure, we bumped some heads when we got there, but there was nothing we could say to our parents about moving to East Highland, California. We're a stepbrother and stepsister in this dream. As fake as it may seem, it will get faker. January. After coming to school for the first day in a Bugatti, Drummer was driving. We get out in NYE clothing while smelling like $1 trillion. Star-studded for the sake of it. We make one grand entrance that offends. Of course, and you know it, Cassie. Surprised to heaven out of Rue, Lexi, Jules, Kat, and Maddy though. During that first day, Drummer learned all about their ghosts when she somehow made friends with them and had them all in the bathroom. Took out a little stash and took a snip before her next period so she could focus. Just a very small ounce to ignite her brain. That's when the girls learned about the house mother being a drug lord. The rest of January was a blur for them as Drummer, always being beyond crazy and altruistic at the same time, improved all of their lives. While my borderline antisocial ass was too busy writing and drawing in notebooks. And yes, I would only go back to high school just so I can spend all this time writing in notebooks and drawing in notebooks again. But moving along, the way that Drummer won them over was quite simple, dramatic. When they were in the bathroom together, she went a little something like this. I'll say this honestly. Me likes to make friends with the first group of girls that approach me. I'm a first come, first serve type. Bravery is rewarded where I'm from, but honesty is more important. We are step siblings. His mother helps run a cartel. Drug. They do very good. Girl, don't get me started. Good people though. There's a supply and they do it safely. Besides, I get so much dough. If y'all believe me and let us take y'all out shopping on my dime, regret wouldn't exist. It wasn't until I was hanging with Drummer and her new friends that I would meet Fez. That's where the trouble would begin. February. Yes, love was so much in the air because everyone's lives improved once Drummer and I solidified our spots in the student body. Mostly due to the 5 parties we threw in January. Somehow doubled in February. Somehow got Fez upgraded in life for him and the family. Moved them out, moved others out to move them up. Nothing covered up the pain though. They were still combative, I'm gonna do whatever I want, when I want kind of teenagers. Rue always had a fix whenever she wanted and we kept her safe. Jules always had us looking out for her whenever she had to hold around. Maddy was learning how to be a confidant of the cartel so she can escape the whirlpool that's her family. Kat ended up living by herself by the end of January, and she was awarded a bodyguard. Lexi, Cassie, and their mother had no money worries. It was all good in East Highland from then on. March was when we taught them how to cover their trails to a very high extent via March of Dimes. It was the first time they saw me be not so antisocial, athletic even, but the lesson was if you keep yourself booked and blessed publicly, no one can find you out. But it was after the March of Dimes when things went all the way omega. Nate returned from whatever hiatus he was on, and it raked Cassie and Jules to a rather obsolete form. I put in a hit and had him body bagged before the end of the night. Totally got away with it, and I had to sleep with that secret. Like the minute it had us moving states since the 6th grade. Unlike the other times, an overdose was deemed the end result. And yes, there's a whole life happening way before this part of the dream. Dreamland stay expensive like that. But April, the funeral was a bust. Drama and I was forced to go because Cassie kept her shipwreck mood sailing into the following weeks. I remedied during the wake though. She was standing by herself in his bedroom. I told her to take something from his room so minute, but so permanent, that she'd always have him with her. Then told her to move on with the rest of her life as if he's with her in spirit. Finished that up with telling her to say his full name. She took her favorite shirt of his, hid it, and walked out with me, hand in hand. Didn't think it was going to be that quick, but I was happy on the inside. With the rest of their lives looking to be greater than the time of their lives, they moved through April so scholastically, it was like none of their trauma ever really happened. Rue learned compartmentalization from drama. Jules was always on the right path. So was Lexi, Kat, and Cassie somehow. Daddy had thought Cassie was shit for brains, but she kept proving me wrong. Then there's Maddy. I told her one day, pay attention. Knowing the world you live in will help you escape. Something I should have told her in January, but time is of the essence. May. The senior trips were on the horizon, but it was the last week field trip everyone was looking forward to. I won't bore you with more details, but it sure did turn into a horror flick on the first night. As soon as our parents made sure the faculty and other chaperones were taken care of, majority of our crowd was able to make it to an underground event. Party of the Dead. On a Sunday night with a bartender that didn't care about anyone's age because he wasn't really a bartender. It was ghetto, it was fun, it was crazy, it was a nightmare, it was a dream. It was motherfucking fantastic. Until the next morning when Drama woke up talking about, I think we've been cursed. I was like, girl, shut the fuck up. Then we proceeded to talk as if she had a bad dream when in all reality, this was the first time any one of them was around us during slumber. She always wakes up screaming. A real upward eye roll. Moving along. Once we got along, I asked her if we have truly been cursed. She certified that we were, then she saw the first glimpse of the curse as a black figure started floating upward outside of our hotel window. Nah, nigga. I immediately grabbed Lexi because she's the most level-headed out of the group. After opening the curtains, she screamed. Nah, nigga. Then Lexi discovered that we had superpowers as Drama immediately said goodbye, then disappeared to return to the point of the venue. It was cleaned out, but the residue of the curse was all over the bartending area. One bottle was left, and it clearly had a stronger residue source than the entire venue. Meanwhile, I'm chilling in a hotel room while Lexi isn't, damn near distraught to no repair. I had to somehow talk her out of it. With her eyes still shut from seeing so much atrocity first thing in the morning, I decided to don my lavender hair and red eyes. I asked her to look at me, then look at the ghost again, and tell me if she recognizes him. She didn't. Thank goodness. But the screams kept happening throughout the week. All of us that attended that party, and even the strangers that attended, was reporting all kind of crazy atrocities around and outside of the city. And yes, it was ultimately hilarious when I walked out of the room with Lexi looking like a total super being to those who aren't. I was an entire XD situation. Fez asked, what the fuck happened to you last night? I told them. I don't want to get into it, but it was wilder than my last Yom Kippur. Yes, a million question marks began floating around their heads, but thank goodness those curtains weren't open. As I was distributing glasses of water, I told them that we've been cursed. During the whole time, I was wondering, what the fuck is Drama? Drama was locked in a venue, magically. When she rediscovered the curse, it kept her from leaving to break it. It took a while to figure that out from my end, but everyone kept wondering where she was while I was talking. Yep, we were attached at the hip the entire time they knew us. I couldn't call her because her phone was in the hotel room, so I assumed she was doing some snooping. I eventually had to show the gang and the rest of the crowd that came with us the ghost we would have to get used to seeing. For some odd reason, they couldn't come into the hotel we were staying in, but that beckoned some of them of being too afraid to leave the hotel. Yet, We had to do a few assignments during the week. Old Crud is right, 'cause these teens were panicking at the disco they used to be. Panicked all the way through Monday, 'cause Drummer disappeared. When I finally made it back to the venue, she told me to not come in. I told her to take my hand and was able to pull her out. Then the entire city started rumbling. What the fuck have we done? The drama, pun intended, afterwards turned Race City into a whole epilogue. Because of my God features, I equipped everyone with superpowers best for handling the afterlife. Tightness. You know, the one that turns you into a flying capable, godlike super being with ultra skin, ultra strength, ultra speed, fortified energy manipulation, compulsion features, dimension hopping features, but their best feature is enchanting others with power, per their bond and all. I told them that when they think about protecting themselves, they will have all the magical might to do so. Limiting them to an extent because I didn't have time to train them, they would just have the means of becoming invulnerable with the ability to harm ghosts that would approach. The entire time I was explaining this to them, Drama was standing way away from us, just shaking her head. Unbelieving everything that's going on, but unbelieving that I'd have the audacity to play the scenario instead of ending it with just her. Afterwards, I went to her to tell her, we are on vacation, so live a little with your dead in the inside is. We laughed. And she said she could use a little more excitement in her life. XD for real, I told her, girl, stop. This dream literally went off the axle afterwards, as it looked like people started summoning demons throughout the week. They actually were. I never cared about Dreamland, but there the cast of Euphoria were, every second, handling drugs and ghosts. But when Nate's ghost showed up, Drama pulled so much magical might, she forced him to move on. I told her thank you for that. That Wednesday would have really turned into a Wednesday if Cassie would have caught a glimpse of his ghost. Drama was hoping that the curse would have dissipated by now, but on Wednesday night, it grew more powerful. Doom swept a portion of the city, and all of the faculty wanted to end the trip. There wasn't an evacuation order until Thursday night. The entire day of Thursday was mad dark, cloudy skies all around, as we went to a food festival on the opposite side of the city from the Doom. One of the best things about the dream was seeing dark towering ghosts starting to divide streets as skeletons came up through the rubble. Dismantled, to paint the picture. It was horrific. Later that day, after experiencing some bomb-ass lasagna, calzones, tacos, and Japanese food helped us get through all of that alarming imagery I didn't wake up from. There were times I would get the feeling that the King of Spades from Alice in Borderland was out there, just ghost, gaining the ability to harm people, all because a god was one of the people getting cursed. I don't know how I keep ending up in situations like this, but the curse was honing in on me and Drama the most. And with her being an afterlife wielder, it was extra zesty out there with ridiculousness. No one was truly harmed though, but they were painting reality to look like limbo, when in this reality it's dead dismal. Just a bunch of darkened figures roaming around, trying to figure out what they need to realize before they can move on, then decide to stay a ghost or whatever. A lot of them remain a ghost until they get tired of living in the ghost realms. Can still eat, can still feel pleasure, but can't interact with anyone in real time. They can even travel, but if they died with regrets, they have to keep them to themselves or until their victim becomes a ghost. Oh yeah, they can alter reality if they were a super being, but in this world of Euphoria, nah, none of those. So it was just dismal fun for the taking to them. As the curse panned out, Drama and I made it so it could become detrimental at any time. The entertaining aspect turned far from pleasure the deeper the curse got. Before anyone could call an evacuation order, we were all starting it Thursday evening, with the help of Euphoria. We were able to have more fun with it, but it was all a dream that turned on my hero complexes again, turned on Drama's shiro complexes again. When the sun was beginning to rise the next day, I knew the dream would be over soon. It was Drama and I sitting on a bench at the top of a hill, just looking over Wraith City. But to clarify, I did get to see the entirety of a night of protecting innocence. All those hours. All right? Then the city was safe. It began to look normal again. Then Drama looked at me to smile and say, I ain't enough of this place. I'll see you at home.